Action.
Good evening. Welcome to Talk to Me Africa and Toridey collaboration. I must say we're sorry. Usually it's on Mondays, but due to circumstances, we have it on Tuesday today. We shall be back on Monday. Trust me, next week. Everything being equal. But thank you so much for being a wonderful audience, wonderful participants on Talk to Me Day and to Talk to Me Day. Talk to Me Africa and Toridey collaboration. Last week we talked about tribalism. It was just like that, blank, right? We talk so much about the negatives of tribalism, and your comments, your contribution, your feedback, even after the show, wonderful. We loved everything. We enjoyed it so much. And because of the feedback, right? And also not just the feedback online, but even offline, we said, let's do a part 2. And on this part 2, we want to talk mostly about the positives of tribalism. Yes, when you hear the word tribalism, it's mostly negative. But there are some good things about tribalism. We didn't talk about it last week a lot. So we want to focus on that this week. And we have a special guest with us in the studio today. I shall introduce her to you in just a second. But hey, remember, this is live, so you can comment, ask questions, and just let us know what you think about it. Thank you so much. Let me bring in Nasako at this moment. Nasako, where are you? Let's
Boss.
You are in an unusual place. That's not your studio.
If you know how much I don't struggle with the image, I'm like, damn, that's what the quality of the video could be. That's like I will, at the end of the day, the most important thing that the information of one person, especially with the guests we'll get on today. When you tell me about it, I go to my own small research. I'm like, okay, this is the best person to just address this topic. So yes. I'm happy and thank every person again. We apologize for doing this on Tuesday. At the end of the day, the most important thing is the information we put out. Maybe now when we put out the information, even if you never watch on live, like most people, you watch on later on and make sure you share, because that is how we build our community. That is how we grow our community. That is how we move our community from one place to another. Boss.
All right, so let me introduce you to our guest. Her name is Lillian Dangam. Oh my goodness, she's my big sister that I have never met in person, but I knew her from way back at the University of Boya. We both studied journalism and mass communication, blessed to have gone through some wonderful teachers, lecturers, and professors that impacted us with knowledge that we're able to share with you today. So thank you so much, Sister Lee, for being here today. Lillian Dangam is an author. She is a linguist. She is an avid promoter of her culture, of her language, of her mother tongue, which is Mungaka. So with that said, she is so well placed to talk about tribalism in a positive way today. Welcome to Talk to Me Africa and Toridey collaboration, Lillian.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Really good to meet you, Sakoma from Toridey. Thank you, Mabel, for the invitation. I very much look forward to the discussion. I'm not a linguist. I still learn a lot on linguistics. I don't take courses on linguistics. I'm the daughter of a linguist. So language promotion, language revitalization, and culture is really something I'll be passionate about. Yes.
But before we go into the tribalism conversation, you talked about being the daughter of a linguist. How was it? Because I remember one time we had a teacher in UB. Before I even go explain my problem for that man, we get for gather a whole meeting. We cram the English, we go tell you because how was it?
Yes. My papa, the linguist, I didn't only be linguist in the English language, but also in my language. Yeah. So if you imagine the pressure, right? So if you talk correct, if you not talk correct English, no problem. If you not talk correct Mungaka, no problem. So no, be so that they talk and fix and so.
Multilinguist.
Yes. So yes, you get to think fine, fake construct your sentence.
Wow.
When you write things that you edit them, it tell you say no, that command get to dinner.
Well, would you laugh better? I don't feel like that English teacher stressed me as my friend. We don't actually write CA. We realize that there was an error in our marks. How one would tell you say error there for our mark? We get Okay, how they talk about now? So we talk no the English wrong. Now so you talk, because if you go with that English, they know Korea script. Though English remain the Korean English.
You gotta get the English correct, you gotta get the tone correct, so that may look and fine. Yes.
You know, I never thought about that. When I knew your father was Mr. Dagam, I'm like, oh wow, that's great. But to think about the pressure, you know, in that household, and I'm like, this is a good point though. So you get Mongaka correction, English
You get
correction.
English, yes. All that English primary book them will be here.
Wow.
You know, when Asako, thank you for bringing that part. It made me laugh a lot. But anyway, let's dig into this right away. So, tribalism. We talk about it so much. And when we contact Lillian for talk about tribalism today and the positives of it, she said, oh, my husband is an anthropologist. He should have been great for this topic. I say, oh, wow, then let me dig and see what anthropology says about tribalism or about tribe. And that to me was another learning process. So thank you for bringing that up during our conversation. So I researched and I found out that in anthropology, the study of tribes is a conceptual form of human social organization that is based on smaller groups. So tribes are defined by shared traditions of languages, culture, ideology, and common descent. And in anthropology, tribalism is a good thing because we stay in our little groups. It was meant for that reason. You know, we talk about you being an avid supporter, promoter of Mongaka. That is because you feel that's your thing, that's your group, that's your bunch of people. You know, and when I shout Bamba Bakosi and my Oroko, that's my group. So the word tribe can be defined to mean an extended kin group or clan with a common ancestor, or can also be described as a group who share a common interest of mutual survival and preservation of a common culture. So tribalism then is, in that pure sense of the word, is us trying to keep that culture that we so much love together, to preserve it, you know, so that we guard it, we don't lose it. So let's start by talking about tribalism in that anthropological sense. It's a good thing, isn't it?
No. At least in the anthropological, especially within the African context that I am familiar with, it is not good in the sense, say, first two things, right? We belong to groups where we share a common ancestry, common language, region, right? And we don't do so before white man come with colonialism. But white man come, start allocate they call we tribes. We'll not be know that term.
Right.
We'll not be the user, right? Your people, your Oroko people, we know say Bakosi people they. Bali people know say Bafut people they. But will not be look themselves as tribes. So the first thing a white man do now for call we tribes in relation to himself as a white man. And that tribe, you know, been a positive thing. You've been a negative and a derogatory way for look at Africans. Okay, so Africans then get tribe, but them way they see themselves as civilized, they not get tribe.
Wow.
So now a way where they be using for describe we Africa and you know we get any positive connotation.
Wow.
It was derogatory. And then tribalism come in because we start seeing ourselves as such, right? That kind of white man come, he educate some group of people. He take people for coast, now them first learn book. Or he take people for this side, now them learn book. Now he take those people, then now them he put them for government now, for govern, because for create administrative rule and structure. So you get a situation now where some group of people from a particular ethnic group, they become dominant in government, in position, allocation of resources, right? If you look only inside our society, for Cameroon, road they're not there for side where me are come out, the way they did for your own side.
Yeah.
Why? Because the person where the govern we, a come on over that side, and we believe we say if your brother there for tree, you go chop plum way black.
Black plum, yeah.
So your resource allocation now will go only for that place. You see what the tribalism do? You look out for your tribe more than you look at the rest of the society.
Very true.
Now, so that division don't come make up. If you see what happened for Rwanda, now the same thing, right? British, German people, they become Belgian people, they elevate Tutsis them. into social status will be higher than Hutus, and that will be majority for country.
Wow.
Over time, you see what happen, resentment,
Yeah.
anger build up, and we'll see what happen over that, right? So nothing be good about tribalism in the sense tribalism now consciousness, allegiance to your tribe at the exclusion of others. You get a tribal consciousness, you exclude others. Like when I discussed last week, people they will get consciousness, say, oh, not only Bali people will be the best people for the ground, so you must marry Bali. What the man con person do you? Right? So now they think that the kind negative way that we tribalism at the look it no be good for there's nothing good about tribalism.
But what's wrong in me liking my own, in saying
that is different. So we can talk about cultural promotion, revitalization, and celebration, right? That doesn't necessarily exclude others. Okay? You feel celebrate Oroko culture, you promote Oroko culture, but you know go take Oroko language, say make people fall over. We are talk.
Boss, I beg my just cut you for 1 second. I really like that because for a very long time, I kept telling people, for some reason, when we were growing up, they will make maybe they say Makosa, the national anthem for Cameroon. And in order for me to go up and then realize, say Makosa need be even my thing of how people can get their own music. I think almost similar to the talk.
I think that they talk. And now we hear Oroko music, right?
Yeah.
It's there for YouTube. People, they watch them. We'll get Bali music now. Some guy they will do Premier Gao for my language.
Yep.
He do that entire song with the same meaning and everything in my language, right?
Wow.
So we'll get people the night they sing music in language other than Douala. They sing music. We grew up, they watch TV. We could see, and Makosa. Now all that will be the year. Why?
Yeah.
The people where they will control this media and content for media, they be the people where they will create the content where be pleasing to them and their group and put them. So all we now will not be part of that, will be forced to watch that, right? I'll give you another example. My language, Mungaka. Now the language where missionaries, they be adopt them to use them for church, for the whole Northwest. For Southwest and Littoral, they be use Douala.
Yeah.
Okay, imagine all this time, because I began this conversation recently with somebody, talk say, oh, Mungaka don't die, they need to use them for church. I think they need to use them for church because they don't develop other languages them, and they don't use those languages for create Bible in that people their language. Okay, so now if you go church for Bafut, for Mancon, or another place for Bicom, you could listen to Bible be read in their language. But imagine you, or Grandma meet them for that time. They come for church for Mancon or for Bafut or for Nkwen. They hear Bible now for Mungaka.
Wow.
Does that make sense to you? It's not the year and for your own language, right? But now one language I don't take over, right? As much as I like my language, I don't want it be at the exclusion of others. Yes. So I feel promote my language as much as I like within my community and outside my community, but make I not exclude other languages. When I think with that adoption of Mungaka, we do, because at that time it was the only language developed. They developed Bible into Mungaka right from the 1930s. Okay, so others they follow now after, but they get their language now. It don't mean say my language be any less. So tribalism and allegiance to a tribe, it make you exclude others. You do that at the exclusion of others. Whereas when you promote your culture, you celebrate your culture, there are ways you can do that without excluding others.
So what if I argue that tribalism can create a sense of belonging? I know you talk about promoting your culture. So is that a way that I can really promote my own without, expressing that exclusion of your own? I'll give you an example. So I think to say at its best, right? Tribalism feel carry some positive vibe. Like I feel like, I'm a tribe this, I get that sense of belonging to that community. It's like I find my gang of people where they understand me, we share the same values, but I don't mention yours. You talk about a church. They come, they bring, they uplift Mungaka, for example. Now, if my mother would sing sometimes, that church hymn in Mungaka, if she doesn't want it in Douala, the fact that if I am from Bali and I stand with my Mungaka, I uplift it, I say, okay, the church brought it, this is what we're doing. But I don't verbalize, I don't act, I don't make you think for 1 second, say, I don't like Bafut. Does that still make it bad?
The concept of tribalism, if I don't talk, right, you don't get anything positive.
Maybe just so man not get away for even just say more fighting.
No, there's nothing good
about I like the fact you don't come to reinforce the argument, because that was what I was saying the other time, and then
nothing good no be. What you just described is good and
I'll
positive.
come back to that. Let her finish.
It's not tribalism, right?
Yes. Promotion, support, and all that.
Yes. Language, cultural celebration. We do that in many ways. We do that in so many ways, through our festivals, through our dressing, through our museums and all that. We do all that. But you're not doing that at the expense of another community or another language group or another, ethnic group. You do that. So no column say tribalism. Yes. The word tribalism not get anything positive about it.
Is it the word or is it the
allegiance? It is allegiance. Yes, it is basically allegiance to your own ethnic group and identity at the expense of and the exclusion of others. Nothing that way tribalism mean. And for me, that
So should we accept? If we agree the word tribe or ethnic group without
if we agree the word ethnic group, especially within the African context, I don't like for use the word tribe mainly because of that colonial aspect of it, right?
Okay.
Now a concept where Europeans then bring them and the consequences down the line as we don't see them, may not be good for we.
So Nasako, you talked about last week, right? Let me bring Sister Leah up to date. I'll call you Lillian for this show today. Now wait to be Sister Leah all the place. Anyway. So last week, Nasakobi talk about I don't ever be tribalistic. And I said, no. He said, I think I'm fine. Say no person, no day when I be tribalistic. Because, for example, I even found out say, have you ever been in a situation where you just like somebody? Might use Iya. Iya don't die, may has no resting. When I met Iya Bekondo, right? We met at work in a chat group. He write me, he say, excuse me, I see your last name, Etuge. Do you have any, connection to Bakosi? I say, yes, my father is Bakosi. I say, Iya Bekun, that's very Oroko name. I say, my mother is Oroko, my father is Bakosi. He say, oh, my mother is Bakosi, my father is Oroko. You see the reverse me, and we're like, wow, we have to meet. So instantly, that was a bonding thing for us. So I don't know if because of that, we just became close like immediately. Is it because of the tribe? Was I being tribalistic? So I told us, I said, I have not been tribalistic. I don't think so, because to me, it's not the action of it. Because I think, say, if country dance happen for this primary school, they say, okay, Bali dance fine past Oroko. I say, a lie. We must dance na Oroko dance. That to me be tribalistic, right? But if I say, no. Oroko, my dance, I like him. Not because if fine pass that one. It's like I never act on that part of not liking you because of your tribe. I just like my own more. Maybe I promote her more. I'm like, I haven't been tribalistic. But I get Nasako a point. There are some people you meet, and because of that ethnic group connection, language connection, you're just like, oh, no, my person this.
Yes.
So if maybe ask you, Lillian, if me, I talk say, I have not been tribalistic because I never act in a way where they exclude another one. Isn't that correct?
Yes, that is correct. Because tribalism, now when you act on that, right? You use that your relationships in life not be defined by where that person comes from, right? Your social interactions in life not be defined by, oh, this person na Bakwiri, oh, this person na Bakosi.
I have been,
even though you get all these stereotypes, right?
I think I've been
part of the aspect of tribalism, I say it builds stereotypes around people.
It does.
Yes. Yeah. I'll tell you a story. Time where they UB. One day I did UB 3 years. I didn't even forget which year it happened. But one day in a conversation with somebody, I just talk say, oh, for Bali, we do na so. Like you get general conversation, pretty talk at thing happen for their side. The person say, hey, you come out Bali? I say, yes, I come out Bali. He say, wow, you know they like, you know they make like Bali girl. I ask you say Bali girl, they ask now how.
The danger of a single story.
Bali girl, then Aquara,
I heard that. Yep.
And all that. You see stereotype?
Yep. The danger of a
but this
single
person
story.
don't know me all this time. For your head, I know be Aquara. We interactions with me, right?
Yeah.
But the time when no say I be Bali, is stereotypes about Bali people kick in.
Yeah.
But standing in front of a person when a Bali, fit those stereotypes. Right.
Yeah.
So tribalism that we act on those, it builds some stereotypes about people. It just takes your interaction with people to know that they are not.
Like I said last week,
we act on those stereotypes a lot.
We do.
They go say, oh, I no married person from here because now wish people, or that people from here, they take people their cargo, they need to pay or something, Now that stereotype we don't be built around groups.
I love this. I love this.
I want to ask boss. So for you, who said that fine line there between this person is tribalistic and this person is just promoting their culture? Because now the challenge I would get them nowadays. Me, I feel like when I go for some plays, I want to dress me like a rock man. In my head, I think I promote my culture. But if you dress like a rock man because you want to impose yourself a day as a rock person and shun other people their culture, then I think it's a bit tribalistic. So for you, who's that line there between this person just promote a tribe and this person is actually being tribalistic? I want me to be clear about although you don't really
the distinction then are acting on that allegiance to your group for the way you now exclude other people, you now stereotype other people. Okay. I go wear only Sanja because na Sanja be the best clothes, no other clothes, no fine, no other outfit, no fine. Okay, I go wear only toggle. Now only toggle if you represent Cameroon because whatever, right?
Yeah.
The approach for exclude others or see others as socially backward or inferior because you think that only your own group be superior and good and nice and the best. Now that tribalism aspect that. But if you also always celebrate yourself without excluding others, without thinking of others as inferior.
Yeah.
If you always interact with people without thinking, say, because they come off a different place from you, they be inferior to you.
And the line be very thin. It's very fine because when you say act on, the acting on it be difficult to define because like the example we're gonna say he dressed like an Oroko person. Let's say you're gonna have some Bali Cultural Association convention, for example. Then he dressed like that. He has acted, promoting his culture.
So he
doesn't verbally say anything.
Yes.
But again, he might come across to the people who invited him like, okay, you didn't say anything to wear except our own. So now let's talk about the person where he welcome you for that particular group. Let's say he dresses like an Oroko person appear for Bali convention. How would a Bali person take it? Would they welcome him as if he's tribalistic without him putting that on them? How that
But speak for Bali, people not gonna look you like you look any different. Like it's culture. It's part of you. It's your culture. It's who you are. You're celebrating yourselves and not taking anything from who we are as Bali people, and not taking anything from our culture. I'll tell you a fun fact. Culture they evolve, right? Bali people get some dance. They call us in Chibi dance. Batibo people also get that dance. You know what's that dance come out? For Manfi.
Wow.
When the men's dance, the men where they do dance, when they would dress for wear this dance, you go things in a Manfi people. They wear that cap them, they wear shirt, and they tie in a wrapper. Just like typical sour person.
Wow.
So if you dress like that and come to Bali people will take you as their own, right? Because not be strange thing for we. Culture the borrow, culture the evolve. But if we look yourself as exclusive and this and that, we not go evolve, we not go change, right? So now just example that Bali people borrow dance from Manfi people. The dance them today, even for a convention, we get Chibi dance. That one they bring all man for floor.
Wow.
Right? When I dance, they buy them, bring them. Batibo people too, they go buy them, they bring them, they dance their own two different, right? But for Bali people, when the one dance, they wear they dress that way we describe them so. And then if you look and see, you know, nothing about people that, right?
I just learned something.
I want to ask you, what do you think is the foundation of? Since I already answered the question, but I want to ask you, especially for modern day, what is the foundation of tribalism, especially when we are exposed to all this information and we know so many people who interact with, where they come up from different cultures, and we know they are good people, but then I see people in present day, I see actually acting tribalistic. What do you think if it be their motive nowadays?
Access to resources. Resources and power. Okay.
Is it the lack of or the availability?
No, when you use your tribe, promote your tribe, and get that tribal consciousness, when like for example, we'll get a particular ethnic group where they dominate governance for a country, and which the one don't do as a talk. You get more roads, more hospitals, and more resources. Right, the distribution of resources to be unequal.
The access
when tribalism be the founding ground on which people act. In governance and in power, in positions of power. So now the thing that it drive, it continue today because person will get power, no one give up because it benefit you and your community, right? It not the benefit the other people, it still exclude the people. So tribalism, it become a foundation of how we are being governed, right? And there's person will not the benefit from that, it not go see anything positive in that.
And then the day where you get your own power, you say, you know what? Maybe
if you say now so number 10 for job. Number time for job. And you know, sometimes if you go into the extreme, it turn violent against those people where they be first day for power for long because they be deprived their own community. Right. But hopefully we'll not reach that level. But that thing that be happen for Rwanda, for example, those Tutsis, they don't govern the Hutus for a long time, when the Hutus have been majority, and it build resentment and anger after some time. Hutus them, they vex, they take knife and cutlass. That butcher Tutsi people. But not all from that.
This is so interesting because I kind of, you know, I still really want to, like, I really want to just claim, say, the fact say me, I can proudly say I have not been tribalistic, makes me feel like there's something a little bit good about this thing. See, I talked about this last week. I was part of Menchum Cultural Association for 10 years plus. And for that 10 years, 7 of those years, I was the secretary, you know. And during that time, I was not a member of my own cultural group. So we did not have
a right affinity within a group of people. When they welcome you,
did.
Right? They not exclude you. Yes.
No, they did not.
Yes.
So how it start? My son's godmother is from Bali. She's married to somebody in Womb. From Womb. So, and I started living with them when I first moved to the country. Say, oh, go meet. I just joined them. And I happen to say I grew up in Womb from class 1 to class 6 primary school. So I found an affiliation with it. Oh, you see? I found an affiliation with it. And then from there, I met one person from that Womb tribe who's married to a Bakosi woman. He said, oh, we get Bakosi meeting. I went there and I left. I was like, okay, I think I feel more okay here, you know, but to me, is that tribalism because I went to the opposite side and I've been blamed though for so long. So you don't go join graphic people, you can begin to say graphic. I was insulted for the longest time in the sort of like this. So a person like me, what's the opposite of that? Like
you went where you felt at home, right? Wait till make you leave the Bakosi. You not be go the Bakosi meeting after and I see you like Bakosi.
No.
You don't like Bakosi people. There was something there that did not quite gel with you, right? So you went to where it felt comfortable for you. Not be like Bakosi, right? So now where you find an area of comfort in your social interactions and how people then take you. So now one aspect that how people welcome you and how people treat you, it be important for form an idea in your mind about people and about society. And if you go somewhere you don't feel welcome, you don't feel the vibe, you know what, you know go again.
Right.
So no, nothing wrong in that. Go to where you feel fine. And the good thing I say, the Womb people will welcome you. right? They not be treat you any less. They even make you Secretary General for 7 years. So they be see you as a person, and a valued member of their community. When I talk a lot about it, I think of Ubuntu, the African philosophy.
Yeah.
I am because
Mm-hmm.
the basic African philosophy that
Mm-hmm.
we always think of each other, we exist in relation to the other person, not against that person. And the thing with colonialism can put between being able to say, for look at that person as other, for look at that group as other. And then for use that now for define we and how we be governed and control access to resources. And if they will trouble, then start plenty.
So you want clearly talk now, say pre-colonialism, pre-colonization, before we got put into these groups of tribes who were ethnic, by
We had ethnic identities. If you go Manfe, the people spread from there into Nigeria, right? The ethnic groups we're getting from Manfe is spread into Calabar area and all that. If you go northern Cameroon, you get Adamawa province, part of it in Nigeria, Adamawa state. Okay, so we get all these groups of people that were communities, ethnic groups living together. White man come and put boundary, arbitrary boundary. Go for a sea river and say, okay, this river divide these people. Okay, but the people that cross river and this one are the same.
The same people.
If you look Benin, Yoruba people there for one side of Benin, another group there for Nigeria. Some side they talk French, the other one they talk English, but all them they talk Yoruba. They get the same customs.
Wow.
Way to divide them, that boundary where white man can put down. So they beget all these groups, these kingdoms, large kingdoms will beget across Africa. They exist. But those arbitrary boundaries where white man can create, I start create division. And then when groups then now start see themselves as indistinct to the other group, that other group now white man don't take an elevator and give them resources, power, governance, all things. They leave some other groups say, na be country people, na like na farm, na remain for bush. Develop that area. So you see how group then start agitate, they start build resentment against each other. And then from there, trouble then start plenty.
So one thing I found out is that tribalism, it has a them against us mentality. So it's a big issue in tribalism, right? It's like an exclusivity is part of it. So there's that exclusion and self-righteousness, that is in tribalism, and us versus them mentality. It's like a purpose-driven leaders might become so focused on their tribe, and then they ignore the rest of it. Now, when we talk about the pre-colonial time, before you talk about, white man can't give away all these arbitrary division, are we saying that pre-colonial time we did not get an us versus them at all?
I know, say we'll not be getting we'll be get small, clashes and all that, right? But it not be they say, that people then the inferior.
You not have those means
small clashes over like cattle, land, or this like Bali people will be a warrior nation.
Like normal human
beings. They will come now would fight, come settle for day. Right?
Yeah.
So if you imagine we neighbor them and how they see we, okay? Because we'll come first of all, we'll come with horses. For the region where the grassfield region that time, people not get horses. Will migrate, will come from the north, will come with horses. So they see these powerful people, they come with horses, they fight war, seize land, remain there. Okay? Imagine how the other neighbor they around the sea now for that time. Say, the people in that period they fight. Okay, so you're still because you don't come, you don't get this land now. You get small fight with neighbor them over land. Okay, but with time, you get ways where they deal with those little things. Them chief, they make peace, they go fight, do this, they go meet person for this side. They try to build and they maintain relations. Okay, and not be that one way. You say elevate one group, the exclusion of others.
Yeah.
Yes. So we get one small issues then, but they never been at the issues the way it be magnified the way it be today when we don't understand and define ourselves along tribal lines.
Wow. We'll talk about the aspect of self-righteousness when it comes to tribalism. You don't talk about, put of say the particular group be more they dress fine, they talk fine, that wouldn't fine because they be more elevated, by that. So self-righteousness and tribalism. how do I even put this in a question
I mean,
form?
like self-consciousness, consciousness of your own
Self-consciousness, yes.
culture.
Yes. Does that still just tie with the facts in a promotion? Because coming to this show today, I'm dressed up. This is something that my friend from Ghana gave me. I'm like, okay, well, I'm representing Ghana in a way. This is nothing else to do with Cameroon. But I consciously knew what I was putting on. I'm like, okay, this is about, Africa, and I can wear this and I can represent myself in this way. So if I do that in a space where you, for example, are, does that make me impose myself on you? Like if I question the fact, say, why, are you dressed in that white man outfit and not yours? Does that make me want to impose my self-righteousness on you for not projecting your own, tribal or cultural beauty onto the society? Does that make sense?
Yes, in a sense, you just question somebody's choices,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And it could be coming from anything. It just be maybe you be conscious, you be African, and we get to promote African outfits, But you know mean say they wear white man clothes too, or be conscious say other choices than be right. They impose on that person say he must wear African because say Africa outfits not the best or not the ideal or something like that. So being conscious of your own cultural identity and promoting and celebrating that, not fighting, okay? And doing that without excluding others, without being prejudiced, stereotyping other cultures, not good thing. Not the boundaries that will get for make. Because tribalism, they do that now at the expense of other cultures, allegiance to the one culture at the expense and exclusion of others.
Let me see what Sangamboka says. He says that tribalism has plagued our nation to a fault. The last discussion was great. We know at some point it is conscious bias. How do we eradicate this notion of you are better than me? How do we eradicate this notion of you're better than me? Is there a way can we even eradicate that?
I don't know whether I think we'll feel eradicate, but it's something we can work towards, right? By starting to broaden our perspectives, right? Learning to accept other people, because in engaging and having conversations with people, we also challenge our own stereotypes and prejudices. We will get, and in that engagement, we will start to reduce the stereotype. Like, for example, I quote the case where somebody thinks I be Aquara simply because they be Komot. But then he knows I no be Aquara. We think say people there from our village na Aquara, right? But in that engagement, he see now say, oh, somebody we know I'm from that village no be. So you start combating stereotypes and prejudice where people get for different communities about that. And from that, you will build empathy, you will build compassion, understanding. And from that, so it builds slowly, it builds social cohesion. If you begin a stereotype about one people, you not forever go inside their meeting. Right? If you get a particular prejudice about one people, you know forever go feel comfortable among them, right? But by being among them, learning and interacting with them, you come for feel comfortable and enjoy their company, right? And not only through that kind of ongoing conversation, dialogue, interacting with people, or if you get to understand people, their different worldviews, the cultural lens through which they see the world, and then for combat those stereotypes where they make them, we build tribalistic actions around me.
So how do we start to go to those other people without our own? Because in my case, I did try my own and I left and I went some other place. But talk about, is it wrong for me to say I have $1 million today and I say, oh, let me look at the Bakosi and Oroko children and help them before I go to the Bali children? Is there something wrong with that?
And I'm not going to say anything wrong with that, because that's so don't be, right? You want to help your own, right?
Yeah.
That's so don't be, because we don't grow up within the context where you always want help. Charity begins at home.
Oh yeah. Does that make you tribalistic then? If he begins at home, is that?
No. To be honest, you go there and say, one may Bali people develop.
Boss, I will argue for the party. I feel like now the foundation that for the new tribalism. Because like I did example last week. Ume Mabel, I tell you say I guess with my brother we every time I go we go our group we always did it veterans. But every time I go for that group, I think jump people them for go salute. And then not because say it be just a normal good person. No. Because inside my head, I know say not that. So me, I feel like now the new thing that we do have a community, we hide behind support your own
With your own.
no, when I just use some sentence now, charity begins at home.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? For big tribalistic, like okay, and if you don't come up for this village, and then I don't get all this knowledge, I don't get all this work, I don't acquire all of this, and then I want help, I will start help now for different person in village. I must start now. Or me, I feel like even that mindset be tribalistic. Correct me if I'm wrong, boss.
I mean, like quite a thin boundary, right? Because we don't be socialized into thinking that way. But I think on the other sense, we get other people where like some person where might say he grew up all his life for Boya, right? We get people from Northwest where they grow all their life for Boya. That is home.
Yeah.
That is home to them. And if that person get money, he get $1 million, he want to build reference hospital for Boya. It be totally understandable. But we get people there for side, we will say, see that person. Why not go build that place for Bafut? Why not go build a Mancon? You don't go get for that side. But that now home that to that person. Now the life that way, now the place that we grow, you don't always know. Right. So you get loyalty to Boya, which is understandable based on their upbringing.
Yeah.
So it works in different ways. But make we not use that one for limit yourself, say, or because I want to go do this for my home, it be tribal. You know, they do them at the expense of others, right? You do them now because that is home. I feel a loyalty I want to develop Bali. Because I don't see the suffering of people there. So if I get some money, now the first place that I go think for look. After that, the next place I go think for look na Bamenda because now for day I grow for most of my life, right? So you get all those connections based on where you live, the people you met in life, and how it formed you, and you get loyalties to those places. But you know, means that loyalty to that place, it necessarily means you exclude others, you know, consider other places as valuable places to invest your resources.
Wow, I just glad to you challenge the fact say there's nothing good about travel because in my mind I'm like there's something good. Is it the ism that is making it so bad? You know, because I feel like there's nothing good about tribalism. So
there isn't.
So if I decide say I was born in Tombel, I'm staying in Tombel, now for day I died. This because this is my own people. That's like I say tribalistic. You know, because I really like them. And I'm staying there because not only for love. It's not good.
No, that's fine. Okay. That's fine. You were born in Tombel. Tombel is the what you know, and that is your
intention
love.
is to deny the other people. It's the intention.
If you decide, say, because say you be born for Tombel, the people for Kumba, not be good people, or people for Kumba be inferior to Tombel people, right? And you go do all this for Tombel because a Kumba people are so and so. You know, go bring me a picking married person from Kumba because they are female them and all that kind of things. You see where your tribal instincts come in, right?
So it's
you are happy. I'm happy to be a Bali girl, but it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody, my neighbor from Batibo, is less of a woman than I am because they are from Batibo. Now the perspective that you put on, right? Allegiance to being Bali and being happy to to be a Bali person and celebrating my culture and language in any way. It no means I see Mancon language or other Gemba languages them as inferior. They are equally to be celebrated and uplifted. And are one of the things I'll be passionate about. I'll be passionate about African languages. We need more of them in as many spaces as possible. I will promote Mungaka, and I will also be happy. Like tell me here about Oroko language project through one of your shows. I was so happy. I tell me who to do this website, ma get in touch with you because I like such projects. that promote our African languages, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I jump in and say, oh, now all about my language, I know, I need to see other languages as valuable. That,
For reach out.
yeah.
Yeah, for reach out. Well, Sangam Boka, we're saying here that, or what she's saying is that there's nothing positive about tribalism, because he just right for yes say, I think the cons have more consequences than the pro. There's no pro. No, there's nothing good about tribalism. That's the point that she's trying to make.
Yeah.
Because
We can talk about cultural promotion, and there are ways we promote culture without excluding others. Like I talked, language promotion, the outfits, building museums, promoting ecotourism, and things like that. That we can promote our communities and ethnic identities without excluding others or stereotyping others or seeing them as inferior to us.
I think saying that the best part is for the conversation. The fact say boss don't point out say tribalism come from a place, especially from that colonial because what would mostly now if I understand him very well, what would mostly do now I say would go take what you is supposed to be an ethnic conversation, can't hide that under tribalism. I say no, I'm just promoting my culture, but then you're being tribalistic. That is not the truth. If you promote your culture, that is completely different from you being tribalistic. Boss are correct, right?
Yeah. Correct.
I really like I like the way you point that out. By the way, they just sent me a message now about our sister Iya died. They say they want me on my way green. I mean, might check if the green are only for not only for the event for night or even for burial. Mabel, you don't receive that message too?
Yes, sir.
I never receive them, but you want to talk more about the coverage? Why they do that?
Yeah, so they say wear green to honor Iya on her birthday, August 30th. Oh no,
That's for August, not for the funeral, for August 30th. Yeah, I know. Have you received that one?
Okay, as it come, I just thinking about the funeral. Oh, that's beautiful though. Yeah, and then Toridey and Talk to Me Africa, we don't decide to we'll cover the event because we know so many people don't get chance for flight to New Jersey, right?
New Jersey, yeah.
In New Jersey, yeah. So we don't decide. You know what? We'll cover the event from the church to the event later on, so people will get at least see what happen. Boss, you get anything about that?
This tribalism topic there. So one thing I know say we'll touch about on last time, but since Lily and there, I would like to make you also give your own point of view on that. Besides the fact, say white man can give away all these arbitrary, distribution and groupings and boundaries and all that. We talked last week about the fact, say we too just embrace them. And you find somebody who say, do not marry from Bali. Papa, why? I just tell you, no marry from Bali. Papa, why? They don't tell you why. So where does that come from? And how can we stop that? Why?
The stereotypes. It comes from the stereotypes, right? If they will tell you, say, no marry person from Bali, that people just now they like fight. Okay? The history of that people, I said they fight, they take people their land. Okay, another one, the stereotype where they get as a talk now, Aquara. Who want me a person go become married for that kind of family, right? So now the stereotypes and the prejudice will don't build them against other people, right? I'll tell you some example. How old you be? We'll start the newspaper, The Chariot. How old the first year. So the first edition has to be strong. We'll not even get money now. We get for contribute money, chetita. Take we go for Limbe. You see printing press or print that paper. But they'll tell the work on the stories for that newspaper. Some guy who did my class, it look what we say. He want to say when byline come out, make it be na so and so and so and so. More not put this person. He call my friend when a Bakosi girl. Okay. I say why? He say no more promote people the Northwest people, right? Make sure say every edition of Chariot we want come out. May the byline the way they plenty they being at the Northwest one. I was so mad. Okay. Wow. By the time the edition of that paper one come out, I don't even get story inside. That's how mad. Yes, that's how mad I was. I worked everything, but I not be put my name for any story. But I will make sure say get everybody who could participate in that. Why that person be the talk say? You see how people they act on loyalty to tribe, region, right? My friend, no, it be just a good writer and a journalist like me. But you know what me byline appear because you want promote people where they come out for a particular region. Why? You see how those stereotypes and people they act on stereotypes and prejudice. You want promote people then from Northwest, and you know those things launch careers,
Yeah.
right, at the detriment of others.
Mhm.
But you're all qualified, you're all taking the same courses. So now the kind negative way, then that way people they use them for act. No marry this person from here. No, some person go, they'll put some man for police. You want to see all people from I don't know what I call Nkwen. Suddenly, all people from Nkwen, they police. They put someone like minister where he be in charge of prisons. Suddenly,
Their village is
all
celebrating
people
that.
from this side, now them they order them. Why?
You know why they laugh? I knew a teacher who was Bakosi, and he always told me that he said, what is your father's name? My father was a teacher, and then he became a prison administrator or whatever. He said they should stop being police officers and teachers. Tell my Bakosi people. But he was a teacher. So when you talk about this, it's like, what's wrong with my Bakosi people? We are all teachers and police officers and prison wardens.
On a better get minister of higher education or something.
For where? It is not.
That's true. Now, so don't be, you know, as I talk, access to power and allocation of resources. I think that way we don't use tribalism for, and then it exclude and it do that at the expense of other groups. How you think say that other people they feel?
They'll feel, yeah. We get 9 minutes to finish the show. I think Semo use this 9 minutes for talk about some of the solutions, you know, for this tribalism. In my own case, right, I think I did this thing unconsciously going to this particular group because, again, my friend always said, if I be no, I for carry for Bali because we don't work for this womb meeting because her husband was womb, it's womb and she's Bali. She said, if I be no, I'm going for Bali meeting because I don't really work for you so much. So I think I belonged unconsciously. It wasn't anything tribalistic. So that to me now is a solution, you know. So if I think, say, I don't like Bali people, let me find a way to get used to one or two of them. Talk about them being Aquara. I have one of my best friends. Her dad is Bali. Her mom is Bayangi. He always stay we. So they be the talk for he said, chai, Aquara for South, Aquara, they born you too, so you don't die. You know.
Hey, no, a double whammy.
I know, a double one. So you know she's such a beautiful, calm person, but that stereotype, right? Yeah. So wait till we do for eradicate this. Let's get to meet the other people, learn about them, and besides that, what else? What you suggest as a solution?
No, definitely that's where you start. You meet and engage, understand the person, your cultural lens, where they come from. Then you will see, say, some of those stereotypes are really out of place, right? Even the stereotypes we think about some person culture. Someone said you want to know which, or did you chop people?
Talk about
stereotypes like that, right?
Yeah.
And then you find out that no, you have a lot that you share in common with these people, right? So certainly engaging with people, engaging with communities, not the right way to go in terms of building understanding. You know, those social interactions will be very important. Build understanding, but also having opportunities to celebrate each other. The cultural association they will get will not feel really undermine their place, right? See what you do when we get by the association convention, would you always invite another cultural group?
Bingo.
Cultural night. Yes. Would you always invite a different cultural group for come for a cultural night and for do a dance presentation?
Wow.
Yeah. We don't always do that on a cultural night. When our biggest night, all man will wait to come and that cultural group. Last year we get a Bamileke group. Wow. We don't get Mankon, we don't get Bafut, we don't get Banso. That is how you build relationships and understanding. Learn about other people, their culture. Like I know people say, okay, like Bali, we not get woman juju. But not only when we get cultural night, invite Banso people, who see woman them wear this juju, they dance. I say, people they so, right? For Bali, we not get a lot of titles for women. title holders and all mostly been a men. But not through my interaction with bands of people who are not say, hey, women are title holders too within society. Clearly, we don't get them for body. So but those kinds of opportunities to encounter other people's culture, or learn about others, and we celebrate others without necessarily thinking less of ourselves or less of them. I think it'd be good for on social cohesion and for pull down those stereotypes.
That's wonderful. We'll give a shout out to Oroko. Then when they get into don't invite Bangwa and Bali for their convention when they come up the weekend of Labor Day. So yes, that's something great. And I like the fact that they go away from the Southwest. Yeah, Bangwa and Southwest, yes, but their culture be mostly associated with the Northwest region. But they invite Bali and Bangwa for their cultural association, their cultural night for the convention, which would be great. And I also think another solution I say more could learn for even embrace the foods. I remember one time I cooked some chops on the Nyamangoro, I be Minnesota. My friend Abanso Ikan house. The arrow is smell for see like I say Nyamangoro today, he say hi, my down a Southwest chop. I say okay. So I put more it taste see until today she eat Nyamangoro. So
have a try.
I will try them. I remember I will go up for womb. This munguin. My papa won't catch me near that cricket them. Come on, I was writing so because we go follow our friends and for evening time, we catch under sunlight, under light for night. We can't fry and chop. My papa he was like, this is my precocity and
absolutely.
But I don't chop munguin, I don't chop ngo, I don't chop like all those things. So we get for learn for not just things say that graphic chop, that's always chop that. I don't chop nkui, it looks like you don't like it, but when you taste it, you like it because I also grew up in Chang. So we get to learn for embrace all of this. And I think for me, I get this national view of Cameroon because I probably work for a place where you get transferred a lot. So I did for Douala, for Chang, for Banenda, for Womb, it was just beautiful. So I can proudly say, go for other places. And when you get there, be open to them.
I think saying that thing that way will help you. The fact that you travel plenty. But even me, now one thing that really helped me at age 11, I already come up for a family. I still Bamiliki man. And after that Bamiliki man, na so man be pay my fees. Na this, I for Douala, how they call them, Bate people. Like all your life, you realize you move from one hand to another. It's difficult for you for be tribalistic because when you remember who they don't help you, and then the years you are when they are maybe I mean not my family never gave me anything.
That's true.
People from all sides. So it's difficult for me for why me should know that somebody say, oh, that by men people. I'll be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So one month for that side irritates you take and put down for the whole town or the whole village. It is very wrong. So for me, one of the things the way it will come, it will actually be if it be considered a solution now, more will not forget our trajectory. It's difficult for some person where they above 30 years, where all through in life. Now only Oroko people they help you to become what we be in alive. Especially for we would the diaspora. Go look now, you get friend the way na year, you get friend the way na this, you get friend. Why you need to focus on the good thing the way that people they do you want to continue settle on that stereotypes. Oh, Rangi then are this, Oroko then are no. Forget about all the old. Pay attention for the new way you don't meet up along the way and continue for preaching that new. I think say Naigo really help us as a community come out of that place. We don't really pass that time where man, tribalism don't help you so bad. As my brother Sangam
Martins,
so bad. And the colonial masters and my sister Tokam, they did it intentionally.
Yeah.
They can't meet up some small line them.
Divide and conquer.
They didn't have any groups. They were like, wow, if they already fight because they get at these small lines them, it means for exaggerate them, they'll just kill themselves. Now when they decide, you know what? We don't leave a mess sour people to be as a one any group anymore. We'll cut some the trial for Douala, cut some the trial for Bakuriland for Boya. We don't leave a make these graphic people them. They continue for B1. We'll cut some the two on the Northwest and take one the trial and say on the Bangwa people for Southwest. Take one them. But if we for this generation, especially we will not travel, it's difficult to see some man where all your friends are only Oroko or only Bangwa people. No.
Very difficult.
But we start focus on these people that are along the way. particularly the one the way they don't hell with. You can notice some feet until they don't hurt you so bad.
Yeah.
True.
I know, yeah, because now whatever that lines they start.
That's true.
One
That's
way
true.
Bakosi and before they be fight for 1920.
Hi, concern me today.
Before again. No, we don't. We got to move past that, especially now when we don't know.
Yeah.
Focus more on the positive way. The people that don't meet along the way don't do it for you, and then just continue to spread love.
Yeah, I just want to get one more thing before we leave the show today. I see some person status the other day that some people I don't really boy for like 4 years now. I know it through a friend, so we don't work whenever I meet. I've never met him in person, a francophone. So the other day I see his status. I say, "Hey, is that Chang?" He say, "Hey, how do you know?" I said, "Look like photo, that red ground." That boy call me. He said, "You know Chang?" I said, I have my first school living in Chang. He said, "What? He be Chang Pekin?" I said, "I've been talking to you for the past 4 years, but I've been working at we'll talk about Chang, let's say, now for Chang, me, I come out. So they even throw a small country talk instead going, what can't make big small thing? Again, it foster with relationship. Even though we had a good one, but the fact say, when I say, wow, this person embraced my culture by just recognizing something on my start and talking about it, it's good. So open your eyes to other people, welcome other people, be curious. How do you say good morning in Mungaka? How do you say good morning in Morocco? Just something, be curious about other people. I think say curiosity to go help you for kill tribalism, like this man talk, this renowned writer, Chimamanda Ngozi said the danger of a single story. You just bat it, you say, oh my, come for Bali.
So
that's because say Bali and Bayangi they born picking, hey, on them bad. So therefore, be more curious. Talk about mentality.
And then you look person in name, you decide how you go treat it. Based on that name.
Names don't even represent you.
It doesn't.
Be a good friend of yours and name my child Nabila.
Yes.
Just because say you my friend, it doesn't mean that child is Bali. So we should really become more curious about who people are, so that we really
come back to Ubuntu. I am because you are. Recognize and appreciate the humanity in each other and treat each person as a human.
That's right.
And not as a subject or this particular stereotype or prejudice.
Love it.
Because at the end of the day, one blood.
Love it. My takeaway today is that there's nothing good in tribalism. There's everything good in culture. But there's nothing good in tribalism. There's everything in promoting your culture. So, Nasako, any last word before we leave?
Yeah, I don't learn a lot today, especially the foundation for the conversation. We explain how tribalism actually come out. For me, not the best part that I know say I don't think towards that direction, but I need to really be specific. I need to really be sure. I don't know me say tribalism now until we. I know say the colonial masters the foster and they push them, but I need to really be sure for if you can emphasize again today. It don't cement the thought say tribalism is negative and we should do everything possible. And most importantly, try for distinguish between when you're tribalistic and when you're just promoting your culture.
Yeah.
It's easy for we for mix them. It's easy for we for actually go hide under no, I just promote my culture. Because that is what we do when we try to we keep meritocracy aside for favor people. Oh no, and my brother, more thing than my brother. Oh more. Like he talk, that thing they no over bad. But then when you do it intentionally, correct me if I'm wrong. Now they will be tribalistic and wrong. Because what if they do it for you like her? If they do it for you, go like them. Me said if you for me, how we will do for diaspora to be tribalistic. But we do them. Would they would give them my land? They don't give you all these opportunities, make everything easy for we. You can't be how many years if you want to get citizenship, we will give you. I know you even start with a play where you still get a green card. Now we don't even get papers. It is argue with the person on the other aisle, say, I get my right. But then you turn around the same person, he say, no, you need to come from my country, meet him because like what is happening?
What is happening? And we'll learn for celebrate culture with diverse cultures. Celebrate each other and learn. We learn a lot from there, right?
Wow.
Time day you be they get a cultural festival where they start them. I think it was all cultural. I don't forget if you call them, but they bring every cultural group on campus. Be get opportunity for come present like a dance. My first time was see Malay and for UB on campus where they can dance and nobody know anything about them. But I was so appreciative to learn about this elephant dance and the Bakuri culture. Even chop, Esuba and Zamgeng, all that thing they present them for day, right? I learn about Bakosi people, their chop. If we have those kinds of things, we learn to celebrate each other's culture, appreciate our different culture, without necessarily saying, "Oh, Bakari chop na so," or this.
I cover my eye the crisis now because today, if you just say one start that kind of cultural event for America, who the start Orokoma or who be Orokoma for start that? when we will be before then, now we be the pioneer of America. Like, oh God.
Yeah, we have to let others lead. Anyway, thank you so much, Lillian, for accepting
It's been a pleasure
today and be on this.
conversation.
Thank you so much. Talk to Me Africa and Toridey collaboration. Thank you everyone for your comments, for watching, for listening, for your suggestions. We'll come back next Monday. That's a question. I talk about the topic for next Monday.
Go ahead, yeah.
Next Monday we'll talk about tribalism. What about bride price? All right, bride price. Wait till be bride price. Why we get for do and why even be important? Is it good? It used to be na one small matango last in years ago. So then na 500 million for married girl. We get for still do bride price, and how can we do it? Is it even worth it?
Yes, so
you can't even afford some people because they're too expensive. You can't get married. Anyway, bride price could be on Talk to Me Africa and Toridey next Monday. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Thank you so much. See you on Monday.
Of course, if you get time, join no. I beg. I will do one host. I will do before background managing.
Maybe you can even join me as a guest. Sister, check your calendar, I beg.
Okay.
Yeah, please. Let's talk about this.
Yes, I think I have plenty to say.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
Come on.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Come on, let's talk about it next Monday.
Okay, bye.